Greetings, y'all. My name is Lenjo Kilo, follower of the Most High God and our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Today is part two of the Dietary Law videos. I would call it No Pork on the Fork. First video we went over 1 Timothy 4. Now we're going to get into another verse that's misunderstood and taken out of context, and that's Matthew chapter 15, verse 11. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Matthew 15:11 reads, "Not that which goes into a man's mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man." Now, when you read this verse straight up from plain view, you think it's simple, like it's talking about strictly about food. But when you ask somebody, okay, so if food, what goes in, so what comes out? They'll tell you everything in the world but food will come out of the mouth. Now, this verse is a verse that's taken out of context. Now, this verse has a general meaning or has a specific meaning towards food, but only in a certain way. Now, we're going to go to the beginning of the chapter and get that context so we can fully understand this verse. Because remember, Isaiah 28:10, precept upon precept, line upon line, when you're reading the word, everything has to be taken into correct context. So we're going to go into Matthew 15, verse 1 through 2. Then came Jesus, scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. So this is the situation. The Pharisees are coming to Christ saying, your disciples are not following our traditions of the elders. Like, why are they not washing their hands before they eat? Because remember, the Pharisees, they're giving doctrine to people that are saying, like, you don't wash your hands before you eat, you're going to be put to death, you're disobeying God, and you're breaking the law. Now let's see what Christ says in the following verses of Matthew 15, 3 through 6. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, Whoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or his mother, shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God none affected by your tradition. So Christ is flipping the script on them. He's saying, you're looking at me, but let's look at what you do. You say honor your father and thy mother. That's the commandment, but you guys are not doing that. So because of your traditions, you guys are disobeying God's laws. The traditions of men is taking you away from being aligned with what God is telling you to do. And that in itself is breaking the law. Sin is breaking the commandments. So sin in itself is breaking the law. You can find that in 1 John chapter 3, verse 4 through 5, that if you're sinning, that means you're breaking the law. So with those that say, oh, when Christ came and died, the laws were done away with. So if the laws are done away with, then how is there any sin? So you can go and kill anybody and that's okay. You can go throw pork in your mouth and that's okay. You can have sex with an animal and that's okay. You can have sex with a man's wife and that's okay. Because the laws are gone now, that therefore means there's no sin, because sin is the breaking of the law. Let's continue forth. So now we're going to go into Matthew 15, verse 7 through 11 and see what else Christ says. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesied of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. So he's saying you guys are hypocrites. You guys honor me with your mouth, honor me with your lips, but you guys are far from me. They say they were God, they pray to God, but their actions do not show otherwise. And that's the same with a lot of people today, even myself. You know, I definitely fall short of God's commandments. And that's where the grace comes in. When you recognize your faults, you ask for forgiveness, and then you apply what you've learned, and you move on. So here we go here. And I continue, it says, but in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. He's saying that they honor me with their lips and their mouths, but their hearts are not from me, because they worship me in vain. They're teaching commandments from the traditions of men. In this case, teaching them that you don't wash your hands before you eat, that's breaking the law, that's going to send you to death. And he continues, and he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand, not that which goeth into a man's mouth defile a man, but that which cometh out of his mouth defileth a man. So this is the context surrounding what Christ is saying. Let's give more context leading after this verse. This is 11 right here. Now we're going to Matthew 15, chapter 12. Matthew 15, verse 12 through 14. And it says, then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? He's saying, so you know that you offended the Pharisees with what you said, right? Offended them, saying, he called them out, called them hypocrites, said that they don't worship God, and that they're teaching from their commandments of their traditions. And Christ, and he said, and we continue, it says, but he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall be fall into a ditch. So he's saying that, these people were not planted here from God. They're not teaching what my heavenly Father commanded us to learn and to follow and to teach others. He's saying that the blind are the blind because they have no understanding, that they're teaching from the traditions of men, so they're blind as well. And people that have followed them are also blind. So the blind, they will both fall into the ditch, because people's spirits and when people come into the truth, more than likely their spirit is desperate and their flesh is overtaking their spirit, because they're recognizing that they're falling into sin over and over again, and they want to get out of that sin. So they have to build their spirit. And the only way you can build your spirit is by being around people that can teach you the right things. Therefore, you can have awareness, open your eyes, but have awareness and recognize temptation when it comes at you. Recognize things, recognize how to get out of sin, and avoid sin as best you can. 2 Corinthians 10:13, where it says that God always provides a way out of temptation, and that he would never put anything in front of you that you're not strong enough to resist. So now we're going to continue forward. We're going to go and get the rest of this context after verse 11. We're going to go into Matthew 15, verse 15 through 20. And it says, then Peter said unto him, declare unto us this parable. And Jesus said, are ye also yet without understanding? So this is Peter, hand chosen by God. Hand chosen by Christ. Christ taught this man himself. And he's even asking Christ, what did he mean by what he said in verse 11? He's confused, like, what do you mean? So if Peter, a man taught by Christ himself, is not understanding what Christ said from just by hearing it and needs further explanation, how much more then do we need more explanation when we read this verse? You can't just go off this verse off of face value. You have to get the context and learn exactly what Christ is saying. Let's continue. Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth the mouth goeth into the belly, and is cast out into the draught? So he's saying, do you understand that when you eat, it goes to your mouth, to your belly, and it comes out of your behind, it goes into the draught, the toilet. But those things which proceeded out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, theft, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defileth a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. So remember, in the beginning of the chapter, the Pharisees were questioning Christ and his apostles or his disciples and saying, you guys are eating without washing your hands. Then Christ is telling them that you're teaching from the traditions of men. You guys are hypocrites. You guys claim you love me, claim you want to follow me, but your hearts are far from me. And then he says, it's not that which go into a man that defile him, that which comes out of a man that defile him. So yeah, he's talking about food here, but he's talking about it in the context of your hands not being washed. He's not saying that you can go ahead and eat pork. He's not saying you can go eat crab, lobster, octopus, oysters, rabbits. He's not saying that. He just said it here. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. Come on now. This is the correct context. He's saying just because you come back home and you eat something and you don't wash your hands before you eat does not defile you. That's not committing a sin. That's not breaking the law. Now you want to bring that into today's time. Okay, yes. When you go out, you work construction, you're working in the mud, you don't want to eat food. Come on now, let's be wise. You don't want to pick up a Pop-Tart or whatever, or anything you eat, a fruit or whatever. Make a fruit, maybe plant-based. Pick up a fruit and your hands are full of mud and you put that bacteria into your body, you're risking yourself being sick. So yes, washing your hands is appropriate, but it's not breaking the law if you happen not to wash your hands. It's not committing a sin if you happen not to wash your hands. That's what Christ is saying. He's not saying that you can eat pork or any of the unclean foods that are not given with Thanksgiving. So yes, that's the proper explanation of Matthew 15:11 with proper context. God's laws are still in effect. When Christ came and died, his death did not do away with the laws. Following the laws is simple. That's the whole duty of man. If you don't understand a word that's going on in the Bible, you don't understand any of the epistles of Paul, you don't understand anything else. All you have to do is understand one thing, and that's Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13 through 14. And it reads, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. For fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So the whole duty of man is to follow God and his commandments. You can find his commandments in the first 5 books of the Bible. We got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Those 5 books, first books of Moses, or also called the Torah, contain all the commandments that we are supposed to follow today. That's the whole duty of man, is following God's commandments. So yes, eating pork, eating crab, eating all those unclean foods, if you're a follower of Christ, a follower of God, you must not eat those things. That's a part of his commandments, amongst other things. Eating food may not seem like it's a big deal, but to the Most High it is. So all I pray is that you find this truth, you look at it yourself, read, go back and reference the verses yourselves, and then apply it and make change. With that said, I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Shalom.